Alrighty, thank you, Emoji J. Hello, everybody. This is the Road to Life show with Tim the Trucker. I am your host for the night. I got you guys stuck here for an hour. I'm sorry. Tonight we have some of the most amazing guests on the show. Two very good friends of mine. We have Exotic Butterfly and Moody Andrew. I don't think I seen him come in yet, so let's give him a little bit to come in. But in the meantime, this is the Road to Life show where we bring a subject, a topic each week, and I have two guests that come into the box as we talk about it a little bit. The purpose of the show is to kind of just, let everybody know like, hey, we're all different in our own ways, but we can all relate to each other. Um, it's something I'm very passionate about, something I've learned in my life. I'm young, but it's a lot of things people seem to forget these days. Um, but while we wait on Moody Andrew, if Jay would be so kind to go get him, um, Exotic Butterfly, can we get you in the box for a minute?
Hello.
Okay. So I will let you know that we are trying to get this show featured. So guys, please no cussing in the comments, no negative comments, no smoking, no drinking. All the featured show rules apply here as well. Um, what's up, Exotic?
Just chilling, having listening to music and stuff.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am Persian. I'm 27 years old. Um, uh, I live in Miami. Um,
Nice.
yeah.
How long have you been streaming?
It's been about a month now.
About a month. Nice, nice. You've came a long way in just a month. I do definitely see you becoming a big time streamer on the app. You definitely have the skills for it. But while we wait on Moody to come in, I'm gonna go ahead and let you out of the box. Um, talk a little bit more about the show, a little bit more about the topics. But then I will be bringing you back in the box. I think I'm gonna go ahead and have Moody go first. Um, unless he doesn't show up, then I'm gonna have you go first. We'll give him one more minute. But I'm gonna go ahead and kick you out of the box real quick, and then you can request it and be ready. What's up, everybody? This is the Road to Life show with Tim the Trucker as your host. Tonight we have Exotic Butterfly and Moody Andrew if he gets here. The topic tonight is going to be relationship, guys. Relationships. I'm sure that's something we can all relate to, and we all have personal opinions on it. So while we wait on Moody, I'm going to give him like one more minute. If not, we're going to go ahead and start the show off with Exotic. Boss Row for Top Edge. How's everybody's night going tonight? Help him reach 5K face. Jay, have you heard from Moody? Oh, well, nonetheless, we're not going to wait on him. I'm sure he will come around sooner or later, hopefully. But let's go ahead and get Exotic Butterfly in the box. And in the meantime, Jay, if you would be so kind, if you can, or somebody try to call Moody, see where he's at. Well, hello again.
Hello.
So, and
Sorry.
this is the Road to Life show. I'm going to ask you some questions about relationships, kind of get your opinion on them, get some answers. Try to get the audience to know you a little bit better as a person. Um, but so have you ever been in a long-term relationship, Exotic?
I have.
You have. What was the longest relationship you've ever been in?
I've been in a relationship for about 3 months. 3 years,
Three
sorry.
months.
3 years.
Oh, 3 years.
3 years.
that's
three
a big
years.
difference right there. 3 months to
Sorry.
3 years.
I was like,
That's
wait,
a huge difference.
I'm a little anxious.
Well, okay. So you've been in a 3-year relationship. What does your ideal relationship look like?
An ideal relationship would be like mutual respect, the same values, and just, you know, respect.
Just
Having
respect
res
altogether.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is a
having
main
respect. Yeah.
that is a main thing in relationships I've learned. At a young age, you don't really understand about how much respect is important in a relationship. You just are kind of learning at such a young age. Um, let's see. I've kind of just threw around some questions here, so just give me a moment to run through. Because I was gonna have Moody go first and him not showing up. I don't know where he's at. Uh, but let's go ahead and ask you. So you were in a 3-year long relationship. Was it love at first sight? Do you believe in love at first sight?
I used to say so, but you have to get to know a person. Yeah, I believe that you can be attractive to a person and think that you're in love with them.
Hmm.
Mm. So it's kind of 50-50 with me.
You've never found that guy that you laid eyes on him the first time and you're like, oh my gosh, I know I'm in love with this man
When
before
I
you
was
even really
younger,
got to know him when you were younger. Yeah. It seems to
when I was
happen a lot
younger,
when you're young. Yeah. Yep. So how old were you when you thought you found your first love? Because that seems to be a thing nowadays, especially in today's society, is these younger generations that they're dating a lot younger. Relationships are starting to be a lot younger. I know a few instances where there's like 13, 14-year-olds considering themselves being in fully committed relationships. And I'm like, so what was that like for you growing up? Were you in
um,
any relationships at a young age, or was it when you got older when you started dating?
I thought every guy I met was my true love. That's kind of like what my mindset was like.
Hmm.
I thought that, oh, this is gonna be the one. This is gonna be the one every time, and every time it failed.
It failed. So how old were you when you got into your very first relationship?
16.
16. Okay. All right. I think that's a fair age. I think around 15, 16 years old, you just went through puberty, hopefully. Um, and you're just learning about yourself at that time. And I think 16 is a fair age to really start, maybe having some parental control over the relationship, but maybe kind of like testing the waters out. You know,
Right.
Everybody's different when it comes to that. Everybody parents their children different ways. So
Well, I
what
hid
was
mine.
you hid yours? That was gonna be my next question. What was it like for you growing up in relationships with your parents? Were they supportive about it? Were they not supportive at all? Kind of like you're not allowed to date. You got to stay home.
That's actually what I had to go through. At that age, I had to hide all my relationships, even when I was like probably um, even 19, 18, because my dad was really strict, and
Your
I
strict
couldn't have.
father. Okay.
Yeah, I had a strict father, so I was not able to kind of say I'm talking to a guy or I'm dating a guy. It was out of question.
Right. Okay. Okay. That's where we can differ. I've dated girls with strict fathers, so I know it as far as that. For a man, it's a little bit different. We're kind of like, yeah, your dad's kind of like, go out there, son. For a
Yeah.
woman, I'm sure it's the total opposite. I know what I would be like as a father if I had a daughter who was out there trying to date. I would be that dad sitting at the front door with his loaded shotgun waiting for you guys to get home. So that would definitely be me. Um, so let's see. We talked about you were 16 when you got into your first relate. Was it a serious relationship at 16, or was it just kind of a, I like you, hey, I like you too, in like a couple months? Was that your first serious relationship? Because I know a lot of people, they like to say, oh yeah, I started dating at this age, but it wasn't never serious. It was more like the flirtatious, didn't do nothing, just kind of exploring type deal.
Well, we did make it official at 16. Like we were boyfriend and girlfriend, but obviously at that age, nothing is really that serious. Like
Right.
we're flirting, we're exploring, and that's all it really was.
hmm So, another question leading into this. What would you say the biggest difference is now that you're older and then when you were younger and dating in general? What is the biggest difference you've noticed?
That's a really good question. When I was younger, I was not thinking about the future. I was not thinking, oh, I want to become a mom. I was not thinking I want to become a wife. I was just thinking, oh, this is just fun, and I just want to have fun and, get along with someone who I can, be myself around with. But at that age, when I was like 16, 17, 18, all my in my head, it was all just fun, right? I wasn't on a time. But now, since when we get older, as you know, like ladies, we have a time on our hands, right? We wanna settle down. We wanna have that one person we can, spend the rest of our life with. So as I got older, I learned from all of my mistakes. I learned from how I should respect myself more and you know, give myself like don't like be nice to myself and not like let guys just walk all over me or use me. Um,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah, so you're learning to love yourself pretty much.
exactly.
That's a big, hard life lesson that a lot of people go through. I believe everybody at one point in their life goes through that process of learning to love themselves. And the age differs for a lot of people. For some people, they've had to grow up fast, like myself. I had to grow up fast. I had to learn to love myself at such a young age to where, I'm young now, but I know what I want in life. And then you got others that didn't really have to do that. And they're 40 years old acting like children because they don't know what true love is. They don't know how to love themselves first.
Exactly.
Um, but I want to say, guys, if you're just tuning in, this is the Road to Life show with Tim the Trucker. Today's topic is relationships. Um, I find it a good topic. It's something that a lot of people can relate to. I know I can relate to it. Exotic. I've known you for a little bit. I know it's definitely something I love to have you on the show talking about. Um, I still don't know where Moody is, but hopefully he shows up. Guys, also, I just want to say I do see the gifts, I see the comments. It's not always easy to be committed to talking to you guys as I got these people in the box as well. It's kind of disrespectful to them, but I do appreciate it. My admins, everybody you see in red, they will be the voice for me in the comments. But I do appreciate it. Let's see. Let's move on a little bit. Um, let's see. So we talked about what you're really looking for in a relationship, the honesty, the respect, and all that. What would you say your biggest flaw in relationships would be? Because that's a lot of
Mhm.
things that's something a lot of people have a hard time learning. A lot of people want to blame the other person, but in all reality, relationships fail because both partners, not just because of one. Um, so what would you say your biggest flaw in relationships would be?
Well, I just got out of a serious relationship and I actually sat down and kind of went through the whole thing of why it didn't work out. What like I can't just blame the other person, right? it had to be both ways. And I came to a conclusion that I have a I have like I have a hard time like kind of emotionally expressing myself. And like sometimes I think the other person should know something and they don't know it, right? But it's like me, I have to express how I feel and what I want instead of assuming that they should know what I want or what I'm thinking all the time.
Right, right. Yeah, that's definitely a big problem if you're always assuming. There's a saying about assuming that I'm not gonna say while recording, but if you really want to know it, I'll tell you after the show. Um, all right, so yeah, definitely assuming bad part of being in a relationship. You never want to do that. I always believe in, like you said, the respect thing. Being able to talk to your partner is a big big relationship milestone. Is when you're comfortable with your partner to be able to talk to them about anything. That is probably one of the healthiest relationships I've seen is people that are able to talk even when it's hard to talk, or maybe you don't even want to talk about it, but you have enough respect for your partner to bring it up and have a conversation. So let's see, we've talked about that. So with that being said, what about intimacy? Is that an important part in a relationship? And if it is, why?
Intimacy, Tim, is 100% very important in a relationship because that's how you express yourself to each other. And well, everyone has a different type of way of how they intimately express themselves. It could be just by, kissing or like hand on the shoulder or, just to show that you care and you're still attracted to each other. You show that attraction that you're still in love. Because if there's no intimacy there, then love is kind of lost. Like it's not there.
Right. Okay, so yeah, I definitely feel that. So you want someone so you would say what would your love language be then? Would it be the feeling of the touch? Would that be your love language?
It would be touch, and also it would be like, yeah, it would be touch definitely.
Touch? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have to say the same with me as well. Um, communication is big. I believe they kind of go together. The touch. If you have the touch and intimacy and the communication, I feel like any relationship will prosper,
Yeah.
especially with the communication. Because we're all humans, we all make mistakes. But if you can at least come to me and own up to your mistake, have a civil conversation with me about it, I believe that there's nothing that can't be worked out to a certain point. So I want to talk about this as well because it goes in with relationships as well. Cheaters. Have you ever been cheated on, and what did it feel like as a woman?
My last relationship, I did get cheated on, and I was heartbroken. I was so in denial at first because I was like, there's no way this person did this to me. We're gonna have to figure it out. I even stayed thinking, he's not gonna do it again. So again, you never like what it felt like was like my heart just shattered in pieces. Like I gave my all to this person and this person just took it and threw everything away. So you're now you're stuck with questioning yourself like am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? What's wrong with me? Why did he cheat on me? What's like, you know?
Yeah, so that's something you said this was your last relationship. So how has being cheated on affected you now? Is there anything that you maybe learned from it? Because my biggest thing in relationships is if you're gonna be with somebody and it doesn't work out, I've always learned from not just my mistakes, but their mistakes as well. Because if they made a mistake and it hurt me, I know I don't want to make that same mistake to somebody else. because I felt that hurt. I wouldn't want to make somebody else feel that. So
A
what is the biggest thing from your last relationship that you learned as far as,
a hundred
being
percent,
cheated on?
Tim. 100%, Tim. I feel like, when you see someone make a mistake, you do not want to put another person through that. So yeah, I've never cheated in my life. So I would never cheat. I just feel like uh it's what I learned was like I thought respect and loyalty was big, but now I think it's double big now. Like it's not my number one. Like if I go into a relationship, it's one of the things I look for in a man. Being loyal is 100%, and being honest is one of the things that I'm really big on. And what I learned is that, you know, and also like when once a cheater, I'm sorry, but is always a cheater. That's what
Right.
I learned because I forgave, moved on, and they cheated again.
So let me ask you this. Because this is where I kind of have a different, this is, I relate to you, I understand where you're coming from, but I kind of see it a little bit differently. I feel like cheaters can become faithful, but not with the same person they cheated on, because it's like the respect thing. If you're with your wife as a man, if let's just say me, for instance, hypothetically, say we're together. If I were to cheat on you and you were to take me back, what's to stop me from cheating on you again? You took me back. I've lost that respect for you. But if I go somewhere else and I find somebody that makes me hypothetically happier, who's to say I can't be faithful to her? You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I get it.
there's a little bit. I don't believe in cheaters will always cheat. I believe cheaters will always have cheating tendencies, but they can be faithful as well. Everybody can be redeemed and be faithful. It's just a matter of who they are and learning from your mistakes, as we spoke about before. It's hard to do. It's honestly it's hard for humans to look in the mirror and be like, I messed up. I shouldn't have done this. What can I do to be better? Today we are talking about relationships. We have the beautiful exotic butterfly as a guest today. We also have Moody Andrew, who unfortunately is not here right now. So if he's not here, if any male would like to be a guest on the show, all you got to do, hit that box request. Um, but hopefully Moody shows up. So let's go ahead and move on. Uh, let's see. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. As we're talking about the cheating, and this will be the last question I have about the cheating thing. But how do you feel about, say you're talking to somebody in the talking stage, but they're talking to somebody else in the talking stage, but you really like this person, and you kind of get upset about it. Would you consider that cheating? Is that cheating? Is that being disloyal?
I don't think it's being disloyal. I just feel like we have to have been had a talk about where we're at. If we're able to talk other people, are we taking this seriously? Should I be mad or should I not? Should you be mad if I talk to someone else? We should have a full on conversation. And I should tell you, if I really, really like you, then I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be like, I really like you and I don't want to talk to anybody else but you.
Hmm.
And from there, if you talk to other people, I feel like, you don't like me as much as I like you. If you're able to talk to other people and explore, then that just gives me the heads up that you're not really feeling me the way I'm feeling you. And that's where I just kind of move on.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's totally understandable. totally understandable. I think all of us can almost agree on that. Um, so let's move on from the cheating part, these last couple of minutes that we have together. And go with the long distance. You know, you're all the way in Miami, and I know some people in Miami, and I can say that it's a strange crowd, especially down there in Florida. But what is it like being on the app? Have you talked to anybody on the app, or have you done any long distance relationships?
I mean, I am talking to a certain someone, but I don't know. I don't really, I'm kind of just um not using this app for like dating because it's not, I just don't see it working out for me on this app.
Well, let's move from the app and just go with the long distance. Have you ever done any long distance relationships before? Is it something that's new to you, something you're willing to do, something you're not willing to do?
Um, I have never done long distance before. I am willing to try it, uh, you know, and see how it goes.
Yeah, I think as a truck driver, a lot of the people I've been with, and not even just when I've started trucking, but even before, I've always been kind of back and forth. You know, my mother moved to Tennessee, I stayed in Ohio, so I've always been back and forth a lot. And I've had to do the long distance, and I will say it's definitely it's hard, and you got to be able to it goes right back to the communication. I mean, communication is key to everything in a relationship. I believe that with all my heart. But let's see. Let's see if we can't give Moody a couple more minutes. See if there's anything I haven't asked you for. Um, all right. Here's one. So besides from the cheating, right? Because I believe everybody hates being cheated on. Um, but what would you say the hardest breakup you've had has been, and why was it so hard for you?
A recent one, because this was the most serious relationship I've had, the most longest relationship I've had. And the reason why being it was so hard was because we spent almost every second of every day together, which is not healthy. We spent it together all the time. So going from that to not seeing each other for months after month, day after day, and it kind of just it's hard. And then also on top of that, the relationship wasn't even stable, like, and that I personally would thought that this was my person, this was going to be my husband. And that's why it was so hard to kind of get over it, because we did get engaged, and it was set, right? And then you turn around and this whole thing just like this, it was hard. It was hard dealing with it. At first it was hard accepting it, right? Like saying, okay, this is definitely over, because we broke up a few times, but this was the definite over. Like it's done. There's no going back. And I got depressed for a good like month, and this app helped me get out of that depression and kind of focus my mind somewhere else.
It made you spread them butterfly wings, didn't it? Um, that's great to hear that it's helped with your depression. I know a lot of people use the app because they're going through a hard time, and it's just a safe space for some people. I myself, it's a big safe place for me in a way that I am able to have a social life, really. So it's not really about the dating for me, which is going to be my next question. Is and I believe you've already answered it once before, and another question that I asked you, but just to get some clarity on it, you didn't get on the app for dating. You strictly came on here just to make friends. I mean, what was the sole purpose of coming on the app? How did you come across the app?
Well, when I was in a relationship, my ex would make profiles on POF, and I would see him going on. He would tell me about these streamers and this and this, and I was kind of mad at him because it was a dating app. Why are you on a dating app? And he would just talk about, oh, how these girls are making money on this app and blah blah blah. And I didn't take it seriously. I was like, this is not gonna be me. I'm not gonna go on this a relationship. Like, fast forward, I
And here you
we
are.
broke up, and here I am.
Okay, okay, sounds good. Let's see. Boop, boop. Request a box. All right, exotic. I know
Thank
Boop
you
will
for having
request a
me.
box. Yes, as always. Love seeing that pretty face. Um, but yeah, let me go ahead and introduce Boop. I mean, what a lifesaver. All right, you are free to go, my love.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you want, stick around for the next 15 minutes or so, and then I'll bring you back in the box. Ask you to
Okay.
tell us a little bit more about yourself, when you stream, when we can find you, all that good stuff.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you. So, guys, if you're just tuning in, this is the Road to Life show with Tim the Trucker, where every week, Tuesdays, 12 a.m. Eastern Time, we bring up a topic, and I have two amazing guests. We talk about the topic, talk about their experiences in that, and whatever topic we may be talking about that night. Today's topic is relationships. Exotic Butterfly, what an amazing person she is. Moody unfortunately didn't show up, so we're gonna have Boop join us in the box.
What's up?
What's up, Boop? How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I wasn't expecting to, hop in as soon as I got in, but
So Moody was supposed to be on the show. He probably fell asleep. You know, it's a late show. We all know Moody. This is definitely not like Moody, so I'm surprised. He's probably gonna wake up and be like, but so Boop, will you go ahead, tell us a little bit about you, man?
so I've been on the app for a few years. I didn't start streaming until last year, I think. Um, I had uh I had my first account. It was at like 300K, and now I'm on my second account and I'm at a milli, so big difference there. So
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely.
yeah,
Congratulations on your 1 milli. So
thank you.
tell us a little bit about relationships. Have you ever been in long-term relationships?
Yeah, I've been in at least two.
At least two. How long were they?
One was 8 months and one was six.
Okay, some might not say that's too long of a relationship,
Well,
but
that's
hey,
the longest I've been in one, but
they're each their own, man. I mean, some people are not even able to be in a relationship. So congratulations to you on that, or not congratulations, however which way it
I
went.
don't know.
So man, tell us a little bit about your first serious relationship. What was that like? We, why did it end? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
All right, so my first serious relationship was, with a guy, and um, we were doing really well, like 8 months, best 8 months ever. But then things started getting a little underwhelming, overwhelming, actually. because so he lived far away, so long distance.
Hmm.
Distance is always the problem with that. Um, more guys started noticing him, and that was pretty much the end of that.
Okay, so a little bit of jealousy then on your
Um,
part, maybe?
it wasn't more of jealousy. It was more of kind of like it was time to pretty much let him go and explore.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Understandable. Understandable. So you said a little bit about the long distance, and that's another thing I've wanted to touch up on today. Because for me, most definitely for me, with being a truck driver, most of the relationships I get in nowadays, which haven't been very many, they're long distance, which makes it just that much more harder on me. So you said you've been in one. How long of a distance was that relationship?
Well, let's see. He was in Missouri, and I'm in New Jersey, so
Hey, that's a long trip. That's got to be about 1,000 miles.
hmm
Yeah, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio right now. We're hosting the show in Cleveland, Ohio right now, and I'm actually headed to St. Louis tomorrow. And it's like a 560-mile trip from here. So definitely some distance there. What was the problems, the issues that it caused being in a long distance relationship?
the issues that it pretty much caused, um, were I mean, I guess basically communication. Sometimes we were both so tired at points, like where we didn't want to answer the phone and we didn't want to talk, like because you know it's different hours there, different hours here, like so that was another thing.
Different time zones, yes. Believe me,
Yeah.
I know all about them. So, yeah, that could definitely be difficult. I totally understand that. That is something that I've had to deal with as well. Sometimes, the last woman that I was with lived in Pennsylvania, and I'd be in California 3 hours behind. It'd be midnight for her, yet 9 p.m. for me. So it's definitely puts a strain on you as being in a relationship, doing long distance. Totally understandable. That's why a lot of people, some people can do it, some people can't do it. You know. But what would you say? So you kind of got into the whole communication and things. What are some of the best things you value in a relationship? I value a
So
lot of things, but and we've
yeah.
talked about it. But go ahead. I want to let you speak. Go ahead.
All right. So the things that I value the most is like that you're honest with me and that you can trust me and that you can like you're very supportive of like the decisions that I make, I guess, if that makes sense. Um,
Well, let's go with this. You said it's very important for them to uh, pretty much trust you in the decisions that you make, correct? So
mhm.
so let me ask you this. Is that a big okay, so let me just ask it in this way. What is the biggest mistake a man or woman can do while being in a relationship with you to for them to lose your trust? Besides from cheating.
Besides from cheating,
Hmm.
I guess lying, not being honest, you know, about like either like where they live or what their lifestyle's like, things like that. Um,
Okay,
and
so go ahead. Go ahead.
I guess just like who they are as a person. Like, don't pretend to be someone else.
Yep, totally agree. Guys, if you're just
Yeah.
tuning in, this is the Road to Life show with Tim the Trucker, me as your host. Today we're talking about relationships and the struggles and things you guys go through while being in a relationship. We've talked about long distance relationships. We've talked about cheating in relationships. We've talked about trust and communication. Um, so if you're just tuning in, that's what today's show is all about. We host this show every week, Tuesdays, 12 a.m. Eastern Time. If you would love to be a part of the show or be a contestant, maybe even a co-host one day in the future, please hit up anybody in the red. They would be able to get you in contact with one of my admins or even myself to get you booked on the show. But Boop, I appreciate you, man, for coming on the show. I know it was not what you expected. Um, but a couple more questions, man. A couple more questions, and I want to go to my question board here because I want to ask you kind of some big questions. But while I'm doing this, I want to know. So you've talked about dating, and obviously, are you bisexual? Are you into men? Are you into
I'm
girls?
into men more.
You're into men more? Okay,
Yeah.
so let me ask this. Okay. Um, how is it different? Is it is it easier being with another guy? Or I would let me not
No,
assume. Have you ever been with a woman before, or were you always into men?
so my eighth grade and my junior year, I was with the same girl,
Hmm.
and I just knew then too that it didn't like feel right, and that I guess every time I was with a man, I felt more comfortable, if
Right.
that makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So let's see. So what? Okay, so you've been. Let me ask this question, and then I'll have another follow-up question. How many relationships have you been in, and how old are you right now, Boo?
Okay, so I'm 27. I've been in at least,
Don't have to give an exact number, just roundabout, you know.
I would have to say like probably like 8 serious relationships.
8 serious relationships. So you've got a lot of practice in. So let me ask this as a follow-up. What is one of the biggest lessons you've learned from being in relationships?
The biggest lesson that I learned is that you can't always rush into them. That's so what I mean by that is like you only know the person for a day and then bam, like you're right, you're straight into it. Or like if you know the person for only like a week or 2 weeks or whatever, you can't just jump right into it.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely not a good idea to rush into relationships. Which is gonna lead into my next question, Boop, is how long is long enough to put a title on a relationship for you? Because I know it's different for a lot of people. A lot of people want to rush into it. There's people where like you gotta work to be with me. Like you gotta know me at least a year. you know.
Yeah.
So just in your eyes, there's no wrong answer here, and no judgment whatsoever. But in your eyes, what is the perfect ideal time before you put a title to saying, "Hey, I'm your boyfriend," you know?
I would probably say like maybe 2 or 3 months in.
2 or 3 months in. Okay.
Yeah.
In which I feel like that's kind of the going amount of time for most people. I'm a little bit more preserved. I'm one of them people where I'm like a minimum 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months, like I am one of them people that I believe you don't truly get to know somebody until at least a year, right?
Hmm.
And that's like all the time talking to them, because people change. We all grow up, and as we grow, we change. We change every day. Um, so there's a lot of things we learn about each other. I'm a little bit more closed off, just from my past. So I want to ask you this too, from your past relationships, how has it affected you today, now as a young adult? Um, is there any like trauma? Not Let's not say trauma. Is there anything that's kind of just like you've carried a burden with you from your past,
All right. So there was at least two relationships that weren't healthy, and it was more of like they would use their words on me, and they would put me down, and they would pretty much, you know, pretty much shut me up. Really, let's just
hmm
say that much. Um, but that, but what I learned from that is that I can't let people just walk all over me, and I can't let
Right.
them put me down with words.
True, true. And words definitely hurt. They can't ever kill you, but they can definitely hurt. Um, Especially growing up. I'm sure it's probably was much harder for you. Um, but like there's no reason. One of my biggest things is who am I to judge? On anything, not just relationship preferences, but anything you do in life. As long as it doesn't affect me, who am I to judge? You know.
Exactly.
But at this time, I do want to plug the show again. Guys, if you're just tuning in, this is the Road to Life show with me as your host, Tim the Trucker. We do this every Tuesday at 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Um, with today's topic, obviously relationships. We've had Exotic Butterfly in the box today talking about her experiences in relationships, and we got Boop today talking, who was a lifesaver. So I appreciate you, Boop, for being willing to open up about this. I know it's not always easy talking about past relationships, number one. So definitely round of applause to both of my guests today. Just stick right there, Boop. I want to see if Exotic Butterfly is still in here. Exotic, if you are still in here, will you please request a box? Yep. So just a quick
And yeah,
question. Do you guys know each other at all?
no, but I always say hi to people when they come in.
Always say hi. Yep. So
Yeah.
so I just want to introduce you guys. Exotic, this is Boop. Boop, this is Exotic. I just want to thank
Hello.
you both for being on the show. And if you guys have anything coming up, I mean, this is your time to shine. Boop. We'll start with you. Tell us a little bit
So
about you when you stream. Yeah, tell us everything there is to know about you.
all right, so I usually like after 5, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Um, I do have an auction coming up in April, I believe. Is that correct, Emerald?
April the 8th. Okay.
Yes, April. It's a lip sync, so it should be interesting, guys. It's something different, and I like it.
Lip
Um,
sync battle
I'm
auction.
also gonna
Okay,
be
that's go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
there few shows as well. And I know it's okay. It's like it was like laggy for a minute.
Yeah, it
Like
was.
these
It
schedules
was. I
frozen
think we're
a
back
little
to
bit.
good now. I think it's good now.
Yeah. You're the scorekeeper for those weeks for the 10th was made. Oh yeah. I'm gonna be the scorekeeper for 10th was made.
So are you an admin? You can go ahead and plug it. Yeah, plug any shows you're on if you're an admin.
um well I don't think I'm an admin, but I'm just there to scorekeep for her show. But
Okay.
I'll also put on Guess the Gibberish with Moody Andrew, 11 p.m. Eastern on and
Wednesdays.
12 p.m. Eastern on Thursday.
Okay, nice, nice,
Wednesday?
nice.
Oh wait.
I believe they're Wednesdays. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
All right, Boop. Thank you so much for being here. Really, you're a lifesaver. Feel
You're
more
welcome.
than welcome to
No
stay.
problem.
You can even stay in the box, or if you want to exit out of the box, you're more than welcome. Um, this is Exotic's time to shine. Exotic, if you want to tell us once more, when can we find you live? Do you have anything coming up? What are your plans on the app?
I do stream after 6 o'clock every day. I try and take breaks once a week. Where what I plan on doing with this app is maybe uh when I get more situated and kind of more comfortable on the app, maybe I can start doing cool things on the app, like bringing people like you do. Like maybe people can like kind of come up on my stream and kind of talk about what they're going through about mental health because I'm really big on mental health. Um, Maybe help people who are dealing with mental health issues and stuff and kind of help them um, navigate what they're going through or, get other people to understand that there's other people out there that can relate.
Right. So kind of the
Yeah.
same goal I have on here, like you said. Um, but I will let you know, like you and that, I was warned with it as well. You have to be very careful, because words have power. And, if somebody comes in and they're listening to every word you're saying to them, and then they want to follow by something that you said, that it could always come right back onto you. They can be upset because they feel like you led them the wrong way. So you have to be careful with that always on giving advice. I'm a big person on don't ever give advice that you wouldn't take, you know?
I
Um,
I just promote positivity. They could take it, they can run with it, or they could just keep it. My motive is just to spread positivity, and I went through a lot in my life mentally, so I went to a lot of programs that helped me, like mindfulness and how to deal with it, and finding different kind of skills, and that's what really helped me. If I didn't find those skills, I would not be sitting here today. So that's kind of my just positive. I don't know if anyone can get like really discouraged from positive words, but that's just what I promote. So
well, we appreciate you for that. And I don't know, 'cause there's some crazy people in today's world, especially down there in Florida. So,
uh, I don't know,
um,
Tim. I don't know. Hopefully not.
but guys, I appreciate you both for being on the show. Boop, big lifesaver, man.
No
Um,
problem.
I will get you a flyer made, buddy, and you can post it on your Instagram to show that you were on here. Exotic, I have a flyer for you as well. Um, I wasn't able to get them sent out fast enough today. But again, I appreciate both of you guys for being here. Um, for those of you who are just tuning in, this you are just now catching the end of the Road to Life show. Happens every Tuesday, 12 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm your host, Tim the Trucker. Today's topics, we talked about relationships. We got to know a little bit about both Boop and Exotic Butterfly and kind of their experiences in relationships, very, very diverse. And just one last question for the both of you guys. Uh, was there any male and female, two, I look at it as being two diverse, different, Boop, you a I don't want to say gay, but you are into men, and Exotic, you are into men as well. um, but can you guys tell me, was there anything that I'm assuming Exotic you stayed and listened to Boop, and was there anything he said that you were able to relate to?
The fact that people kind of ran all over you, like that definitely I can relate to in my past relationships where I let just men treat me any kind of way. But we grow, we change, we learn, and we don't let that shit happen to us again. Sorry, excuse my language.
It's all
But
right.
yeah.
It's all right. Um, all right, Boop. Any final words from you?
Just that, just really, all I just have to say is just really think think about it. Think about before you start a relationship. Like if you're mentally ready, physically ready, emotionally ready. That's pretty much all I have to say.
Great,
But
great advice. You know, if there's any advice I give, love yourself first before you try to love somebody else. Truly get to know
exactly.
who you are as a person. That way you're not trying to find that out while also trying to figure somebody else out. That's just gonna make it that much more harder for you to figure out who you are. So, with that advice, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night with you guys. Like I said, once again, I appreciate both of you for being on the show. I know it is super late for some of us. I believe we're all on the East Coast, so it's for all of us. It's 1:03 a.m. Um,
Mhm.
but I appreciate you guys. It's a honor and a privilege to have both of you on the show. Uh, Stick around. I'm gonna go ahead and end the show. And then I will restart another stream, and we'll have an after party. So I appreciate you guys so much, guys. Again, the road to life with Tim the Trucker. We will see you next week, Tuesday, 12 a.m. Goodbye, guys.